Hey beautiful, I am going on what I like to call my glam girl walk. I'm pairing something that I know I need to do, which is moving my body, with something that I really enjoy doing, which is full glam. And one of the main reasons why I am doing this glam girl walk is because nobody told me when I was laid off last year how important it is to stick to your routine and to create a sense of normalcy. When you're trying to job search and you're going through a career pivot and you're dealing with unemployment, you can really lose track of time and you can lose sight of who you were. So now that I have more time on my hands, I have no reason and I have no excuse to not take care of myself, but also control what I can control. And I can control how I show up for myself and what I do with my time. Another thing that nobody told me when I was laid off is that your FSA, which is your flexible spending account, can expire when your benefits do. And I had a balance left and I had no idea that I had to spend it fast or lose it. So that's when I heard of the FSA store, the sponsor of today's video, who sent me these products that actually support my health routine. The FSA store is the one-stop shop for your FSA dollars with over 2,500 FSA eligible products. And if it's on the site, it's 100% eligible. So you don't have to do any guessing or show your receipt or fill out any reimbursement forms. You can just use your FSA card at checkout. They sent me this Supergoop Play SPF 50. It's a high SPF sunscreen that's FSA eligible because sun protection is a qualified medical expense. And if you know me, you know I apply sunscreen every single day, no matter what, rain or shine. So the 18-ounce bottle allows me to use an ample amount without running out so quickly. It's reset week, so I'm pushing myself to hit 10,000 steps a day. And more steps means more sun exposure, which is exactly why having an SPF in my routine matters for my skin health. FSA store has all the brands you already love, like Supergoop, Mighty Patch, La Roche-Posay. The difference is, here you're spending pre-tax dollars, which means you're saving money on health products you were already buying, using dollars you already set aside for your health. Right after my walk, I use this Magic Molecule Hypochlorous Acid Spray. It helps treat many common skin conditions. It removes bacteria, it calms redness, and it supports skin recovery after sweating. It's FSA eligible because it's a health forward skin tool, not just a skincare product. And when you're watching your budget during a career pivot or a job search, using pre-tax FSA dollars on something like this, instead of paying out of pocket, is really, really helpful. And before bed, I end the night with an Asutra Magnesium Chloride Foot Soak. Magnesium supports muscle recovery and helps the body decompress after a high activity day. Also FSA eligible. 10,000 steps a day is a lot on my feet, so this has become one of my favorite parts of Reset Week. And using FSA dollars can really help build a maintainable recovery routine without stressing about the cost. Everything I use and more is available on FSA Store. Visit fsastore.com/AshleyDevonna or scan the QR code to start shopping. Thanks to FSA Store, where everything's eligible, for sponsoring this video. We are at Lace by Lanise Spa. My skin has not been cooperating with me. I've been struggling with adult acne, I want to say maybe 12 years at this point. It's usually like here on my cheek, maybe in the middle of my brows, on the other side of my cheek, on my chin. I've done all the things over the years. One thing I distinctly remember is seeing results every time I've gone to Lace by Lanise Spa consistently. And by consistently, I mean once a month. But here's the thing. I signed up for a microneedling package with Ideal Image. And it was a package of 3 microneedling sessions for about $800. And I did that last year in July. I went to my first microneedling session in August of last year. And I also signed up for a laser package at Skin Laundry. You can get their signature laser facial before a microneedling session. And then you wait 2 weeks and you can go and get another signature laser facial, and then 2 weeks after that you get another signature laser facial, you go get your microneedling, and then you do that all over again. That was the plan, but I moved, so I didn't go to another Ideal Image location to get my microneedling done. And I also continued to pay for my Skin Laundry package month over month. I paid for Ideal Image up front, the $800, right? Follow me. At the end of last year, or at the beginning of this year, December, January, something like that, Ideal Image reached out to me via text and said, hey, we went bankrupt. If you get the settlement, you'll only get like 17 bucks. But if you want to continue to like redeem your package or whatever services you purchased with us, you have to go to Elace, E-L-A-S-E. right? Okay, I've called Elace a number of times, countless at this point. I believe they screened my call because the first time I called them, I left a detailed message with the callback number. They never got back to me. When I reached out to them, I said, hey, Ideal Image went bankrupt. They let me know that I could redeem the rest of my microneedling package with you all. I never got in touch with them. They do not answer the phone when I call. Again, I think they're screening my calls because they know my number and they don't want to pick up. So I go and look on Google, and another Ideal Image client who was paying month over month for her subscription at Ideal Image, when they went bankrupt, Elace took over her account but will not fulfill any of her services because Elace said if they honor her Ideal Image subscription, Elace is the one who won't be getting the money. So essentially, Elace is saying, we know that Ideal Image said that you can redeem your package or whatever services you were getting from them with us, but we're not gonna honor that. So now my question is, what do I do? Like, did I just lose out on 800 bucks? I do want to get my microneedling. I want to finish the package. I only have 2 more sessions left, and I had an agreement with Ideal Image that I was going to vlog it so I could see the results. So I was going to show my skin transformation, and then I was also going to, what time is it? Okay, good, I'm good. After the microneedling package was over with Ideal Image, I was going to go back and see if I wanted to do Clear and Brilliant with them. And I know Elace offers microneedling, and I'm sure they offer Clear and Brilliant as well. So I'm just like, I'm trying to get in touch with them, but I do believe I'm gonna have to go up there. But I'm just really concerned about the fact that, like, what if I go up there and they're just like, we're not gonna honor your microneedling package, and you just have to eat the fact that you paid $800 up front with Ideal Image, even though you have your receipt, even though you have like the signed contract between Ideal Image and yourself. Like, it doesn't matter what you show us, no matter like your proof of purchase, we're not gonna honor that. Then what? And it was a year ago, so I don't think my credit card company is going to honor giving me my money back. And Ideal Image specifically said they were gonna honor all packages that were purchased from January 2024 onward. So mine falls within that because I purchased my package July 2025. So that's what's going on. I say all this to say, I'm at Lace by Lanice Spa to get my blood drawn so we can test my hormones. We're also gonna do a 3D facial screening so we can see just beyond the top layer of my skin. We can really see what's going on, just how bad my adult acne and my hyperpigmentation and post-inflammatory hypopigmentation and all that is. And then we're gonna do a personalized, like, custom facial. And then I am going to talk to them about microneedling and just seeing like what's best for my skin, because they offer microneedling here at Lace by Lanice, but they also offer no peel peels, which is like really good for my skin, and it's really good to do in the summertime because you don't get like the shedding and you don't have the same downtime as you do with the regular chemical peel. And I already stay inside the house most of the time anyway, and I have like sunscreen on, I have a hat on, I'll usually wear sunglasses. They don't have to worry about me. They do not have to worry about me. But I really want my skin to clear up by the end of this year. I feel like I've said that every year, but I'm very serious about it now. It's honestly stopped me from filming. It's held me back from making content because I don't feel like putting makeup on all the time. I just genuinely don't want to wear a full face all the time. And I'm in my 30s at this point. I don't want to feel ashamed to pick up the camera and just show what my skin looks like. I want to be able to feel comfortable and confident in my skin. I have no problem going out with no makeup on. I do it all the time. And when I was working full-time, whether I was working remote or in the office, I didn't have on a lick of makeup. Most of the time I just wore my glasses and SPF and I called it a day, because you don't have that kind of time in corporate. I also realized that, like, when you're the corporate hot girl, you don't always have to look that part. They know you hot, and you don't have to be hot all the time. It can be a little intimidating, even though they don't want to admit that. So I say all that to say, that's pretty much all we have on the agenda for today.
This is actually really good.
Okay.
So you don't have a lot of oiliness going on. Technically, you don't have a lot of acne going on. Have quite a bit of texture going on.
We got Chef Janelle. We are doing an omakase. How many courses?
We're doing 7 courses.
Just like a little test, a little run through, and I am her sous chef. First bite.
How do you think the audience will do? Because not everybody gets spicier. You okay?
I'm just doodle.
Oh no. Let me get you some paper towel. I'll clean it up. Need some water?
While Chef is doing last round for the chicken, I'm on dish duty.
It's perfect. It's good? Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
This is the salmon. This is the yellowtail. That looks delish.
Don't try this at home, folks. This is a good picture. Right here in the frame. This is honeydew melon. With lemon juice. The sherbet.
Very refreshing.
What do we think? You know when something's so good, you just nod and point your fork at it?
I'm doing a get ready with me. This is going to be the last day this week that I wear makeup, so might as well show you. It's going to be the same old soft glam that I normally do, just different products and a different routine, but I haven't shown my makeup application in what, 4 years or so? I'm starting off with the Power Seal. This is by Miss Medics. If my hand is shaking, it's because I've had coffee today. I don't have any cotton pads right now, so I'm just using my Viva paper towel, and I'm pressing this around my nose, definitely on my forehead, in between my brows, under my lip, on my chin, just in all the areas that I think I will sweat. Because it's hot outside today. I think it's like a high of 99. I'm gonna use my fan, dry this down. And this is a Sweat and Oil Snag Tonic. And you have to let it dry completely. Now I'm going in with this MAC Hyper Real Serum. Let's do 3 pumps. No, let's do 4 pumps. Now, I really gotta work on these camera settings. Hold on. Now, how is this? I feel like this camera setting is better. So let's stick with this camera setting. Let me let the serum dry down a little bit more. Then I'm going with the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. We're gonna use 3 pumps of this. Really press that into the skin. The words have rubbed off. I literally use this so much. This is a Kiehl's eye cream, the avocado eye cream, I believe. And I just put enough to cover like the tip of my thumbnail. And I'm applying it with my ring finger. And sometimes I'll even put it on the lid too. I let that dry down a bit. Now, I love Tatcha. I received this in PR. It's their Dewy Milk Moisturizer. I'm gonna apply 2 pumps of this Dewy Milk Moisturizer. Then I'm gonna apply my last moisturizer, and then skin prep will be done. My last moisturizer is the MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm. I cover my pinky nail. Hello. I cover my thumbnail again and just press this into the face. Okay, now that skin prep is done, I'm gonna use the Universal Blurring Balm by Danessa Myricks, and then I'm also gonna use Painterly Paint Pot by MAC. And let me show you how I use both of these. Oh, one more thing. MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC45. First, starting with the Danessa Myricks Universal Blurring Balm, I literally have the tiniest bit left, so I put the tiniest amount on my finger and I rub it into my nose and my smile lines. And I personally made a mistake with my brows. I called myself cleaning my own brows up with my tweezers, and I plucked too much from the front. I have to let it grow back before I go and get them threaded again. So I use this BK Beauty A506 brush. I go into my MAC Painterly Paint Pot and I just get the smallest amount so that I can apply a thin layer on my smile lines. And I have some hyperpigmentation around this area that I cover with the Painterly Paint Pot as well. So I go into the Laura Mercier. I have like this much on the brush and I tap it off. I want the tiniest amount. I'm not sure how I was doing my makeup like specifically the last time I came on like a vlog or a YouTube video and showed you my makeup routine, but since then I've really been aiming to use the thinnest layers possible. Now we're gonna go in with the MAC Pro Longwear. I have these thingies and they like stick to your hand, and you can get these from Amazon. See, it's just like a clear barrier, so when I apply my makeup I can just apply it onto this clear barrier, and then when I'm done doing my makeup I can just take this off. I'm pressing into it with this Morphe sponge, but what I've been doing is applying this Rhode glazing milk. I mean a drip drop drip drippity drop, like that much. Tap the product just to mix the glazing milk, thins it out just a little bit. It's easier to apply. It doesn't go on so like thick and cakey. And by the way, I have a mirror right here and I have one in front of me. I'm just applying my MAC Pro Longwear. I want to apply enough to cover up like my dark circles, to cover up any blemishes that I may have, like hyperpigmentation spots that I may have. I'm gonna take this one off because I need to apply a fresh one for my foundation. I think I bought like a pack of 100, so I have a drawer full of these. It really is okay. For setting sprays, I'm gonna go back and forth. This is the Milani Make It Last, and then this is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. I love how just like glowy and dewy this makes your skin look, and then I love the Milani Make It Last. It just brings that moisture, that hydration back to your skin. So you can't go wrong with either one of these. I just like to go back and forth. We're gonna use the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation, and it's either Caracas or Caracas. Please let me know. I'm gonna give this a good shake, and actually while I do that, let me spray my skin. I don't like to use that much of the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist because I mean it works, so you don't need that much. A little goes a long way. I did 4 pumps of Caracas. I'm also gonna do 1 drop of the Road Glazing Milk, and then we're gonna use my handy dandy Real Technique body blender. I get this from Ulta. I've used this, y'all know, for years, but if you're new, I believe I've used this, I don't know, for like almost a decade. No, I'm gonna start with my forehead, work my way down to my cheeks, specifically avoiding the Painterly Paint Pot area. This is what it looks like on my skin, so I didn't do too much. I am going in with a Patrick Ta product. I already had it on hand, but if you have any recommendations for a product that is like this exact skin tone, shade, and this formula, please let me know. I have the Danessa Myricks Skin Blurring Balm in, I believe, 8.5. If you look at the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm versus the Patrick Ta, this is just slightly deeper. This is like my perfect skin tone. I believe this is the Patrick Ta foundation brush. I had this already too. I'm going to just lightly tap over my paint pot just because this is more full coverage, especially with a brush, than using my body blender and my NARS Natural Radiant foundation. Let me actually go in with my Milani Make It Last, and we're gonna move on to blush and bronzer. So for blush, I'm using Juvia's Place Pink Lady. For bronzer, I'm gonna use my NARS Laguna 04. NARS Laguna 4 is very Uche Natori coded. She's actually my shade twin, and I love following her tutorials. I believe this is a Morphe brush. Words rubbed off. I did like 1 swipe of the Juvia's Place Pink Lady liquid blush, and do you see how pigmented this is? And then I'm going right underneath my eye, like the corner of my eye. I'm coming like exactly where my pupil is, where my pupil and my cheek meet. So like right here. And then I'm going up, but I'm stopping right at the tail end of my brow, using the blush to really hug the cheekbone. Now we're gonna go into my bronzer, drop of my Road Glazing Milk, and this is the Makeup by Mario, like dual-sided, I don't even know the name of this, the words are off. Coat my brush, and then I just like wipe excess product off, and I'm gently applying this, just like gently tapping it onto my temples, down like the side of my brow, hugging my brow, and then I'm going right underneath my blush with it. Going back in, wiping some excess off. I go underneath my nose, like right where my nostrils are, underneath my lip, and right here on my chin. I'm gonna take my body blender and I'm just going to diffuse. Have I bronzed? Yes. Did I diffuse it really well? Also, yes, because I want my blush to be my focus. I love the Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer. I have it in 3 shades, but I really like to start with 165 Deep Tan. I also have 140 and 135 Pure Beige and Medium Beige. They're from Ulta, super affordable. I'm also gonna go into Kimchi Chic, the Most Concealer. These concealers are they're really warm, I'd say, and I have what I consider more of like a neutral skin tone, so I'm not crazy about the shade, but I can make this work. And out of all the concealers that I've tried, the Kimchi Chic and the Milani concealer are like the 2 concealers that work the best for me. I'm applying the Milani concealer on the back of my hand because I want to warm it up. So this is my BK Beauty 114 brush, and I'm actually going to again do a drop of the Road Glazing Milk. Now I'm going to go in between my brows, down my nose, on the sides of my nose, and I'm just tapping this product in with this BK Beauty 114 brush, going on my chin and then on the sides of my nostrils. I'm also going to go in with my Kimchi Chic concealer in Light Tan, 1 drop of the Road Glazing Milk. I just want to share it out just a little bit because this is like really full coverage, which I really do like. However, thin layers is what I'm all about these days. That's it for my concealer. I'm going to apply a little bit of my Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. And then we're gonna let this dry down for quite a bit. I've been sitting here watching anime. That's how long I let this concealer sit. Right now I'm watching Food Wars. Any whoosies. I'm using this brush. Okay, I feel like this is where the magic happens. This is the BK Beauty with Nikki La Rose, or Nikki LA Rose, the N19 brush. This is a good concealer brush. I'm just like pressing, gently tapping the edges of the concealer, and I'm really not doing much more than that. And then I'm gonna go under my eyes. Do y'all mind if I look in the mirror right here? Give me 1 second. This brush with this concealer, it works. It works for me. It works. It works for me. Now I'm gonna go in with my body blender just to diffuse it. Now I'm going to use my T109 brush by Makeup Shack. I'm gonna take my NARS Laguna bronzer, use a light amount of product to cream contour my nose. Makeup Shack. I love y'all's powder puffs. It's a material unlike all of the other powder puffs that I have. When I clean them, admittedly, I put them in the washing machine just like I do all my other brushes and stuff. That's my fault. So I need to buy a lot more of these Makeup Shack powder puffs because they are my favorite powder puffs, just like ever. Speaking of powder puffs, okay, let me grab this powder puff. I think this is just from Amazon. I've had this forever. And now I'm gonna take my All Nighter Urban Decay waterproof setting powder. Y'all, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So I'm going to get my powder puff ready. I swirl it around in the Urban Decay powder and then tap it on the palm of my hand. Powder puff is ready. I'm gonna go in one last time with my beauty blender and make sure I get those creases. Doing the same thing on the other side. Blending out the creases and then setting that around the nose. Set those smile lines. Also set my forehead and down my nose. Now there have been times where my under eyes were seemingly creaseless. Like there wasn't a single crease in sight. There are some creases right now, but I'll take some over the way that I've looked in the past. So now I'm taking my beauty blender and my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm covering it with a pretty generous layer. I'm lightly baking. Had to change the battery. We're back. I'm gonna use this Morphe M241 brush, and I'm also going to use my Fenty Beauty Cocoa Naughty 07 bronzer. I know a lot of the girlies love Mocha Mommy, but I think Mocha Mommy's a little red. I'm adding Cocoa Naughty, and I'm not applying too much bronzer, just enough to set the cream bronzer. Let's go in with House Labs Fire Moon, and then we're also going to go in with House Labs Dragon Fruit Days. This combination is really pretty. I'm actually going to use the same brush that I use for my liquid. We're going to go into Fire Moon first, and I'm just going to make sure that I follow that same application right up against my lower lash line, hugging my cheek, and then coming out to like where my brow stops. And then I'm also going to use Dragon Fruit Days, but I'm hugging it right here on my lower lash line. I'm going to take this Makeup Shack brush. The words have completely rubbed off. And then I'm going in with my MAC medium deep mineralized skin finish, and I'm just using this to like set my face. Then we're going to take another Morphe brush whose words rubbed off, and I'm just going to tap this where I applied that loose powder. MAC got rid of the shade that I personally loved, which was NC43 in the Studio Fix powder. They reformulated and changed all the names of the shades, and now they're all so different, so I have to mix NW35 with NC42, and this NC42 is old. You can tell by the packaging. This is the new packaging, this is the old packaging. MAC, I don't like that y'all did that, but I mixed them, tap off the excess. And this is a powder foundation, so this is really going to do a good job of like setting. We're gonna move on to my eyes. I'm actually gonna take my Milani concealer, and I'm going to apply this to my lids. The other day, I tried to apply my foundation just all over with my body blender, but I hit something on my eye that just caused my eye to like water. And when your eye waters, it messes up your makeup. So my makeup products were like smearing, and I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. And I know a lot of the girlies are saying like, oh, you can just use the hyperpigmentation on your eye as your eyeshadow, but I'm working on the hyperpigmentation on my eye, so it's a little too hyperpigmented for me to use it as my eyeshadow. Making sure I don't have any lashes in my eye, because anytime I have lashes in my eye and then I apply false lashes, I'm always like, I think I'm gonna cry. I think I'm gonna cry. I've blended this Milani concealer out. Again, light layer on this brush, and I'm setting my lid. Both of these brushes are by Beauty Creations. I'm gonna take this fluffier one, swirl it around in my Cocoa Naughty by Fenty Beauty, apply a light coat on my lid, just sweep it over, and I'm also bringing it down the sides of my nose because I want my nose contour to not be like so intense. Then I'm gonna take this other Beauty Creations brush. So this is the 02, and the first one that I used was the 01. and I'm going to go underneath my eye. Now I'm going to take my Makeup by Mario palette, and we're going to take this brown right here and just sweep it across. Now I'm going to apply my mascara, and then I use this Lash Couture Super Strong Clear Lash Glue on my lashes, and then I use this I Envy Lash Glue Liner in the shade Black on my lash line. Here are my lashes, by the way. I believe they came out of this pack of lashes, and this pack of lashes are the 6HZ-2 lashes from TikTok Shop. For all of the girlies who apply strip lashes with your fingers, God's strongest. Press it into the outer corner, and then take my tweezers, curve it a little bit, and voila, magic. Land it on my eye like a spaceship. Make sure I press it into the outer corner. It's really secure in the inner corner. Now I'm going to do my brows super quick. I have used this Milani Espresso Weekend Brow Eyebrow Tint for years now, like literal years, maybe 5 years now, the same one. There's a learning curve with this. You cannot press down too hard at all whatsoever. If you do, your brows are done for. So I just do very light strokes, as close to my natural brow shape as humanly possible. I'm gonna use this brush right here. We're gonna have to go back into my Milani concealer. I'm gonna clean up underneath my brow, and I'm not taking it all the way to the front. I just balanced out the light by adding a light over here so it doesn't look so washed out and red. Let's finish up this makeup look. Change your battery again, we're back. We're gonna go in with this Refi Brow Gel, and this does a good job of just laying them down. I'm lining my lower lash line with the Makeup Forever Limitless Brown Lip Liner. I'm not crazy about it as a lip liner. I absolutely love it as an eyeliner. And then I also use a brown mascara for my lower lash line. Opens the eye. Now we're gonna go in with like my favorite brush and my favorite part, which is just like going over the blush so that it just stands out more. So this is a Morphe and Makeup by Ariel brush. I think I used my Juvia's Place Volume 2. So I'm gonna go in with this pink right here. It's really pretty. And then I'm gonna go in with the pink on top of it too. And I'm sticking to like hugging right here. I'm going to use my Beauty Creations Pink About It powder. First, I'm gonna use Oh Honey. I'm looking for a very specific brush. Okay, this is my Smith brush 220. I'm taking this Beauty Creations and Oh Honey, and I'm going down the center of my nose. And then I'm taking my BK Beauty brush in 113, and I'm going to apply some Oh Honey by Beauty Creations right in the center of my brows, just to give me a little bit more of a highlight. Now the Beauty Creations powder is beautiful. However, wherever you put it, it has a really good staying power. I'm using a very light hand in a very light amount. Like you can see the line down my nose. It's gonna stay like that. It's gonna stay like that. I'll be able to fix it, but like, yeah, it stays like that. I'm going to go in with Pink About It on my same BK Beauty, sorry. I'm going to go into Beauty Creations Pink About It on my BK Beauty 113 brush. And we are going to apply this side of the nose, bring it in towards the blush, and then I'm going to tight line, quick pass with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. We are going to also go in with the D'Alba First Spray Serum, spraying my body blender and just tapping it on those areas that I would like my skin to just be a little bit more luminous. And then this is the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in Rich Brown, and I take this Morphe brush. It just has a little dome top, and I'm just like blending out that lip liner so it's not so intense. I'm gonna take a little bit of Saltaire. This is like my favorite, sorry I got a text message. This is my favorite lip balm. It's the clear one. I only found this once in Ulta, so Saltaire, please, I'm begging you. I love this stuff. This is the Kimchi Chic, what is this? Madely Poppin' liquid lipstick in the shade, I don't know. I genuinely do not know. It's like their brightest shade. And then I love the Lawless Forget the Filler in Strawberry Milkshake, so I put that right in the center. I love this honey infused lip oil by Jisoo in the shade Milky Mocha. I don't know if you can see, but like you see all of this, it's really not supposed to come out like that. So I'm always like wiping the excess off, and then I'll go everywhere that I put the lip liner, just so I have a true ombre pink lip. What's it giving? How's it looking? What are we thinking? Here's today's outfit. I have on my Sporty and Rich hat. This is just like an athletic top from a set that I got from TikTok Shop. These are some Adidas inspired pants from Addicted, and then these are literally just plain flip-flops. I need my nails done so bad. Please focus. Okay, here we go. My nails have grown out so long. I don't know if you can even see underneath. My natural nails are literally almost as long as my acrylics. While I'm out, I would also love to get my car washed, but I think it's gonna rain. It's been like overcast, but then it's been sunny, but I don't know, I can't tell. I did spray some Naked Sunday SPF spray on my face, and then I have on Saltaire saltwater vanilla SPF oil on the parts of my skin that the sun can see. If you can see the sun can see you, and you should have on sun protection. So I always have on sunscreen. Let's head to go get these nails done. Again, please remember the before, because I'm just in desperate need of getting my nails done. They have grown out so long, and I cannot stand, lost the lighting, here we go. Cannot stand when my nails are super long. I think I'm gonna get my toesy woesies done too. I had white tips on my toesy woesies, and then they grew out so much that I cut the white tips off of my toes myself. So that just goes to show. I think it's been like 2 or 3 months since I've gotten my nails done. I want to say it was 2 months. It's August. I got my nails done in the beginning of June. It's the next day and I'm running out of the door. Got a couple appointments, got some work I need to do. So I have on this Los Angeles tank from Zara. I believe these red satin pants are also from Zara. And then I have on just a little kitten. We have to bring back wearing casual heels, you know, that's my thing. And then I wanted to get into my Meredith Blake bag. Is that her name from The Parent Trap? So I have on my headband because my hair needs to be done, but I don't have an appointment until like next week. And then I also have on these really cute sunnies. And then I got my nails done. So here is the final product. I love them. I had my nail tech cut them short and do a skinny French. And then I got 1 coat of bubble bath and then 2 coats of put it in neutral on my toes. Like I said, I have a couple appointments that I need to get to, so we are rushing out the door. Good thing I'm filming this because I forgot my phone was charging over here, and I would have definitely ran out the door without it. So let's grab my phone and let's go.